Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths. Many narcissists that are in the world, around the globe, masquerade as empaths with artificial light. They masquerade through life with artificial light and present themselves as empaths. And have you ever met someone in your life who seemed to be very empathetic or overly empathetic, but left you feeling drained, right? This is a real growing concern because narcissists masquerade as empaths, right? They masquerade as empaths. They study these videos. They watch these videos. Narcissists watch these videos, empath channels, and try and learn about the complexities of an empath, and they like the feeling of being an empath. Remember, narcissists like to play the victim. So they like presenting themselves as an empath. And the thing is, the problem that you may face, right, out in the world, is they know you're a survivor of abuse, right? If you start to reveal a bit about yourself, about how you've been through abuse or you've been through narcissistic abuse, they know how to present themselves as an empath, right? And they'll mirror you, right? Claiming that they're a victim of abuse and they've been dealing with narcissistic abuse, and you'll feel like you're building a bond and you're building solid foundations, and there's reciprocity and reciprocation, and it's a transparent, honest, and true relationship. And really, they're just deceiving you. They've actually studied you to figure out that you being a victim of abuse, and they've known how to present themselves, right? But there are some key differences in a real, true, authentic empath and someone masquerading as an empath, right? There are some key differences. And their game will slip up, right? And you need to look for it. But you may get further down the line with this individual. You could get further down the line with this individual, but they'll slip up. There'll be some traits, right, that, they could have irritability issues, right? They could have irritability issues. They may get irritable with you, They may verbally lash out. Not in the extent of a devaluation, but they may lash out or have some irritability issues. And this is a stern warning and a sign. This is one of the key differences, because empaths, even if an empath has got slight anger issues, or if an empath has got anger issues, or how else can I put it? If an empath is a bit edgy, right? If they've met someone who they believe is, pure, loving, kind, generous, like, it's highly unlikely that the empath is gonna lash out at them or verbally abuse them or, be irritable towards them. They're not gonna be like that. They're gonna be calm in the other empath's presence and stuff like that, and they'll be calm even in the presence of the narcissist that is masquerading as an empath, right? The empath isn't gonna lash out at them. They're not gonna get angry at them. They're not gonna, they're gonna be calm, right? So the thing is these narcissists can only keep up this game for so long. Some will be able to keep up the game longer than others, but eventually their true nature comes to the surface, right? So one of the things is the irritability issues. They're irritable. Another key difference is it's the way that they present their story of being a survivor. Certain things don't really line up in their story. It's almost like they're claiming this victimhood. They're claiming this victimhood. It's like a fashion for them. So you need to watch out for these stories You know, it's very hard for the empath to, you know, to listen to some story from a narcissist. They don't know it's a narcissist. They think it's an empath. So their heart opens up. They empathize with them. They try and solve the issues. They try to solve the problems. But really, all this narcissist is doing is trying to get supply from you. They're gonna do something along the way, which makes you upset. Right? They're going to do something along the way that makes you upset. I can't exactly say what it's going to be, but it's going to be something that makes you upset or makes you feel that it's not a reciprocal relationship, you know, and you may bury your head in the sand and continue on, but you need to look for these warning signs, right? Because there's going to be something that makes you not feel comfortable in this relationship, right? Something that makes you feel comfortable. They're going to do some antagonistic behavior. They're going to antagonize you. They're going to do something, right? And remember, they're still trying to maintain the empath portrayal, right? They're still trying to maintain the empath portrayal, but there are some real key differences that you can look out for between a real, true, authentic empath and someone who's masquerading with artificial light like a narcissist does, because this is it's becoming more and more common for narcissists to do this. It's one of their ways of actually getting empaths, you know, of getting empaths under their spell, or awakened empaths under their spell, is them presenting themselves as a victim. You know, I've spoken to victims of narcissistic abuse that have they've met other people, you know, after the narcissist that they encountered in their lives, and they opened up, and they, you know, there were similar circumstances. They felt like they were building rapport with this individual, you know, they felt like they were building rapport with this individual. They felt like this person was an empath, but out of nowhere, the fake empath will do something that empaths just don't do. You know, empaths just don't do. They will do something, right? And it caused these individuals who I've spoken to have to go through another awakening process. You know, the awakening process is lifelong. You wake up more and more as time proceeds. And this is the fact of the matter, is you can possibly run into individuals who you think who you think are solid, who you think, you know, are fellow empaths, and literally they've been studying you, you know, they've been studying you, trying to figure you out, you know, and they're well versed in the narcissistic community, because they may watch the videos or they may read books. They're well versed on the terminology, you know, and they've played this victim role in their lives, right? And they present themselves as a victim to you, but there's flaws to this version of themselves that they're trying to present. So just beware of narcissists pretending to be empaths, because it's a growing concern. You know, it's a growing concern in this community, because there's this channel and there's other channels alike that are putting out key information, warning victims of abuse, you know, and these narcissists are becoming wiser, you know, and they're taking on board the information and using it against you. You know, many narcissists masquerade as empaths. You know, like I said, if you've met someone who seems empathetic, you seem like you're hitting it off, but they leave you drained, that is one of those key differences that I'm talking about. Like, you won't feel drained from a real authentic empath. You won't feel drained, you know. And this is a growing concern, you know, around the globe, of these narcissists masquerading as empaths. But the fact of the matter is, like I said, they know you're a survivor of abuse, and they know how to appear to you to seem intriguing. They know how to present themselves in a way that they're going to present themselves as an empath, and you're going to feel like you've met an empath, right? But like I said, there are some key differences: the irritability, the lashing out. They'll do something narcissistic along the way, and you've got to be very, very switched on not to just overlook these signs, because you've already gone through narcissistic abuse, right? Look out for these signs, right? You'll notice something that's off with them. There's something off with them, and you've got to use it to your advantage. As soon as you notice something off with them, distance yourself from them, disengage from them, just cut them off. This is as soon as you notice that something is off with them. They're gonna do something which is very, very narcissistic. They're gonna do one of these things from the narcissistic handbook, right? Trying to bait you, trying to draw you out. They're gonna try and do something, right? Turn you into someone who's an oppressor, right? They'll do this. They'll contort your passion and care and empathy into making out that you're the oppressor. They'll do all sorts of things. That's why you've just got to leave them be, let them go, let them get on with their lives. Hopefully they forget about you and they can go on to someone else. I don't wish them to find someone else and cause pain to someone else, but hopefully these people they encounter in their future will switch on to them as well and wake up to them as well. Or it's highly likely these fake empaths will run into another toxic individual. It's hard. Like, they put in a lot of effort to be with an empath. They actually study the information. They actually study narcissistic books. They actually study this information. And I don't know if they're using a form of empathy in their own minds, because I don't know if it's cognitive empathy or they haven't got emotional empathy. It's one or the other. But they're using a certain type of empathy to not the same as an empath empathy, but they're using some form of it to be able to put themselves in a position of playing this role so effectively and efficiently. But there are key differences, and you can notice them. So like I said, I've spoken to people that have met people that have presented themselves as narcissistic abuse victims, and they figured out very quickly that this person was a fraud, this person was a fake, and there's telltale signs and key differences, right? So just look out for those, because this is I haven't really heard people talking about this issue, but it's a growing concern, and especially if you're in a vulnerable state, it can feel good to meet someone who you think is on the same page, to think that someone is on the same wavelength, and that's why when you notice something off with them, that's it, it's game over. There's nothing they can do to bounce back, and they're honestly pissed when you figure them out, because they put so much effort to present themselves as an empath, right? And when you figure them out as a narcissist, they're really, really pissed, right? Because this is even more covert than a covert narcissist. This is like masquerading with artificial light. This is them actually putting on a whole persona, right? As an empath, as a victim, and when you figure them out, they're pissed, because they put a lot of effort to try and pull the wool over your eyes. Remember, a lot of you have already been through narcissistic abuse, right? This wasn't the narcissist that you first encountered. So you've already been through narcissistic abuse. You've met someone who you thought was an empath, someone who had a similar story, someone who was mirroring you, basically. They were mirroring you. They were playing the victim role. And when you figure them out, it pisses them off, because they put so much effort to try lock you down, right? Or try bait you into becoming some version of yourself that was chasing after them or whatnot. And when you don't do that, they're really pissed off, right? They're really pissed off. So I'd love to hear if any of you have experienced this, and put it in the comment section below. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Like I say, if you would like to donate to the channel, you don't have to, but if you would like to donate to the channel, you always can, with the link in the description box. There's something I want to bring to your attention before I draw the video to a close. I've launched a new free community forum, right? It's on the membership website. It's open for everyone to use, to build, expand, and connect with fellow survivors. I'm looking at the longevity of the forum, as I should have created one when I first launched the membership site. I'm also running one-to-one sessions. If you want tailor-made advice and me to shed some light on your issues, you can always reach out. The Empath group meeting is coming up on the 28th, and there is a new WhatsApp and Telegram group created for survivors to stay in touch. Lastly, if you want crisis email support and a plan of action, the links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. And there's a video that I think that would be good that you check out. Narcissists will abandon you when you need support most. So anyway, that video should come up here. I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.